Question number 1. Icebergs typically float with most of their mass below sea level. Suppose the highest point on an iceberg is 45 feet above the water's surface. The lowest point is 357 feet below the surface. Find the vertical distance between these 2 points. In word problems like this, the best thing is to draw a picture for yourself. So because the most important thing here is to understand the problem. What is this problem about and what the question is asking. So let's say we have here the picture of iceberg, right? And it says that icebergs typically float with most of their mass below the sea level. So this is a sea level, right? And most of their mass is below the sea level. Now it says, suppose the highest point on the iceberg. So this is the highest point on the iceberg. It says it's 45 feet above the water's surface, or 45 feet above the sea level. That's the same thing here, right? Water surface or sea level. So this is 45 feet. From the highest point to the water surface, there's 45 feet. The lowest point is 357 feet below the surface, which means this is the lowest point, and from the water surface to this lowest point, there is 357 feet. So we have the highest point on this iceberg and we have the lowest point of the. So what we have here is we marked all the information that we have here that's given, right? And now we want to read what the question is asking. The question is asking to find the vertical distance between these 2 points. So we want to know what is the distance between these 2 points. And it's a vertical distance, so we're going to draw a vertical line from the top to the bottom. Now, obviously here, we see that this distance is 45 feet from the top to the sea level, and then from the sea level to the bottom, or to the lowest point, is 357. So we can see from the picture that this distance is going to be 45 feet plus 357 feet, which adds up to 402 feet, and that is the vertical distance between these 2 points. Question number 2, write a variable expression to represent the phrase A, the number of inches in x feet, and the number B, the number of pounds in y ounces. So let's start with A, the number of inches in x feet. We can always start with some concrete values, right? Let's say in 1 foot we have 12 inches, right? In 2 feet we will have 2 times 12, right? We will have 24 inches. If we have 3 feet, we will have 3 times 12, which is 36 inches. So if we continue with this, we will see that every time we add a 1 foot, we are adding also group of 12 inches, right? So we are adding 1 foot, we are adding the 12 inches, group of 12 inches. Now, if we have x feet here, we will have x number of 12 inches, groups of 12 inches, right? So this is going to be expression in inches. So it is like 1 foot represent one group of 12 inches. Now, if we have x groups, then we will have 12x inches. All right. Now, B, the number of pounds in Y ounces. Now, here we have 1 pound. 1 pound is 16 ounces, right? 16 ounces. Now, we want to know what is the number of pounds in Y ounces. Now, we can use the same thing here, and we can say that what if we have 16 ounces, right? We will have how many pounds here? We will have 1 pound here, right? If we have 32 ounces, how many groups of 16 ounces we have? Well, we can divide by 16 and we will have 2, right? 2 pounds. We have 2 groups of 16 ounces in 32 ounces. So if we continue this pattern, right, and say, what if we have 48 ounces? How many pounds we have? So we have to divide it by 16 because we want to see how many groups of 16 we have in 48 ounces, and we will have 3 pounds. So each group of 16 ounces is 1 pound. So we have 3 of these groups, 3 pounds. So if we continue like this, we will notice that every time we're dividing by 16. We want to take Y ounces, divide them by 16 and see how many pounds we have in it, because one group of 16 ounces represents 1 pound, right? So we will have how many pounds we have. So that's why if the algebraic expression or variable expression is Y divided by 16. Question number 3. The plastic tips on the ends of a shoelace are called aglets. So these plastics on the end of these shoelaces are called aglets. So we can see that on one shoelace we have 2 of these aglets, right? And on the other one is also 2. So in one pair of shoes, on one pairs of shoes, we have 4 of these plastic ends. Now let's move on. Suppose a sneaker factory produces P pairs of shoes each hour and is in operation for 8 hours each day. Write a variable expression for the number of single aglets the factory uses each day. Evaluate the expression when P equals 200 and H equals 24. Explain what your answer means. So we have some variables here, and let's start first with writing down what variables are mentioned here. First variable mentioned here is P. Let's see what the P stands for here. It says that sneaker factory produces number of pairs of shoes each hour. So P stands for number of pairs of shoes factory produces each hour. Then we have a variable H. It stands for some hours each day. That is, the sneaker factory is in operation how many hours? 8 hours each day. So we write down H stands for number of hours factory operates in one day, each day, or we can write down each day, that's fine, or we can say in one day. Now we have to write a variable expression for the number of single aglets the factory uses each day. Now, if you want, you can create the third variable that's going to stand for the number of single aglets the factory uses each day. If you want, but you don't have to, since this says the right of variable expression. So we can use only the variables p and h. Now, what we have to do now is we have to, write the variable expression for the number of single aglets the factory uses each day. Now, factory operates each day h number of hours, right? So h number of hours, this is the factory operates each day, right? So each hour, this factory produces p pairs of shoes. So every hour we have p pairs of shoes. So if we multiply h times p, right, we will get how many pairs of shoes is produced after h hours, right? All right. Now we will get the number of pairs of shoes, but we need the number of single aglets. So again, we have to multiply by how many of these aglets we have on one pair of shoes. And we said we have 4 of them, which means we have to multiply by 4. So now this is the algebraic expression, variable expression, but we're going to rewrite it as the standard format, how we write these variable expressions, with the coefficient goes first, with the number goes first, and then you can use any order of these variables. It could be pH, you can say 4HP, it will be the same. Now we have one more question here that says evaluate the expression when p equals 200 and h equals 24. We have the variable expression for HP. Now we have to evaluate it, which means we're going to replace p with the value of 200, and we're going to replace h with 24. So we will get 4 times 24 times 200. And that will equal to 19,200. So our answer is going to be that this factory uses 1900 to 19,200 single aglets each day. Okay, let's do question 4. Evaluate the expression when x equals 3, y equals 4, and z equals 5. So here, instead of x, we're going to write 3 plus 2 multiplies parentheses. Instead of z, we're going to write 5 minus inside of the parentheses y, which is 4, minus 1, close parentheses, again close parentheses. So this is our first line here. Now we have to evaluate this expression, and we're going to start from these parentheses first. So we're going to rewrite everything else. 3 plus 2 multiplies 5 minus, and then we're going to evaluate 4 minus 1, which is 3. Now we have this expression here, and we're going to, the first thing we're going to evaluate next is the parentheses, right? So we have 3 plus 2 multiplies 5 minus 3 equals 2. So now we replace the parentheses with value 2. Now we have this 3 plus 2 multiplies 2, and we're going to use the order operation again. We're going to evaluate first the multiplication. So we have 3 plus 2 times 2 is 4. And then the last line is to add 3 plus 4, and that equals 7. Question number 5. We have a valued expression when x equals 8, y equals 4. So we're going to rewrite here 7, open parentheses, x is 8, so that's 8 squared, 8 squared, minus 5 times y. Y is 4. Now we have this expression here, and we have to follow the order of operations. So what goes first here is to evaluate parentheses. And inside the parentheses, we have a power here. So this is the first thing that we're going to evaluate. That's 8 squared is 8 times 8, and that equals 64. Right? Now, instead of 8 squared, we're going to write 64 minus, and we can evaluate also 5 times 4 because multiplication goes before subtracting here. So that's 64 minus 5 times 4 is 20. Now again, we have to finish evaluating the parentheses. So we have 64 minus 20, that's 44. So we rewrite this 7 times, open parentheses, we have 44 in it, close parentheses, and now we are left with 7 times 44, which equals 308. Okay, question number 8. An electronic device is tested to determine how it reacts to changes in temperature. The device is placed in a test chamber at 22 degrees Celsius. After each minute, the temperature in the chamber is lowered 3 degrees Celsius. What is the temperature in the chamber after 9 minutes? All right, so first we're going to write down everything what has been given in this word problem. The device is placed in the test chamber at 22 degrees Celsius. So we can write down that 22 degrees Celsius is the temperature at the beginning of this experiment, right? After each minute, the temperature in the chamber is lowered 3 degrees Celsius. So we can write it down that each minute, the temperature is lowering 3 degrees Celsius. Now, what is the temperature in the chamber after 9 minutes? So this question is asking us, what is the temperature after 9 minutes, right? So here we have a, before we answer this question, right, we have actually, we have to figure out how many degrees the temperature has changed, right? So that's like yeah. So after 9 minutes, temperature will drop every minute. There's 3 degrees Celsius lowering. So we will do 9 times 3. That's going to be altogether 27 degrees Celsius. The temperature will drop 27 degrees, right? Now, what is the temperature after 9 minutes? We're going to get it if we take a 22 degrees Celsius that we started with, and we will subtract 27 because the temperature dropped 27 degrees. So 22 minus 27 is negative 5, and that's going to be degrees Celsius. So the answer, the full answer is the temperature in the chamber after 9 minutes is negative 5 degrees Celsius. Okay, question number 9. A roller coaster takes a group of 24 people every 5 minutes. The ride lasts 3 minutes. There are 52 people in front of you. It takes 10 minutes to walk from the roller coaster to the concert stage, where you have reservations for the 2 p.m. show. If it is 1:30 p.m. now, can you ride the roller coaster and still make it to the show on time? All right. Again, for this type of questions, the best thing is to also draw what's happening, right? Or make a timeline or something that's going to help you to understand what this problem is about. All right. So you are at the roller coaster at, it says you are 1:30, so it is 1:30 p.m. now. So you are at the roller coaster. There is 52 people in front of you, right? And you need 10 minutes to walk to the, whatever this thing is, to the concert stage, right? And you have to be there at 2 p.m., right? So if we go backwards, that means that you have to be done with the roller coaster ride till 1:50, right? If you're done at 1:50 p.m. and then you need 10 minutes to walk to the concert, you will be there at 2 p.m. So you have from 1:30 to 1:50. So basically you have 20 minutes for the roller coaster ride. Now, in these 20 minutes, you're standing here and in front of you there is a 52 people, right? And they're taking people in the groups of 24. Okay, there's one thing that we assume here, and that is that right now there is a group of 24 people coming in, right? So they take a group of 24 people now, and then after 5 minutes, they will take another group of 24 people, right? So this is like now, and then after 5 minutes, they will take another group of 24 people, right? And then after 5 minutes, they will take a group where you will be standing, right? You are in the third group. Yes. So 24 and 24, that's 48. So 48, so you have 4 more people here. You are like 5th in a row. So you are in the third group. You're coming in. So it's already past 10 minutes, right? And then they say that the ride lasts 3 minutes, which means after 10 minutes you are in. Add 3 minutes for your ride, which adds up to altogether 13 minutes. So yes, 13 minutes, you'll be done in 30 minutes and you have 20 minutes, which means that yes, you will have time to ride the roller coaster and make it to the show. So here there is one common mistake, why I didn't add 5 minutes and then add 3 minutes for the ride. So because it says they are taking a group of 24 people every 5 minutes. So the time for the ride is included in these 5 minutes. Why we need this information? Because once you are in, you know that the ride lasts 3 minutes. And you don't care like what time they're taking another group. Yes. So that would be the answer. And I will go over this question because most of the mistakes were here. We have to simplify expressions. So we are asked to simplify it. We are not asked to evaluate or give the final value to it, just to simplify it. To simplify expression means to join or group like terms together, right? Like in this first case here, we can add 7 and 96, right? And simplify that to be 103. Right? But still we have to rewrite the variable here because this expression also involves the variable. It is t plus 7 plus 96. So we can simplify only adding 7 and 96. So simplified is going to be t plus 103. The same thing here. It is variable j. What we can group is negative 33 plus 14. That's going to be negative 19. So it's j minus 19. Or you can write negative 19 plus j. That will be the same, right? Here also we have negative 21 times 3t, which means negative 21 times 3 is negative 63, and then again t. Here also there's a variable p, and also we can add these two numbers, 5.36 plus 6.47, which is 11.83, but some of you forgot to rewrite the variable p here. And the last one also we have 2p plus 3p. We can group these two together because they have the terms with the same variable. And here 4 plus 21 is 25, right? So we have 5p plus 25.